Dave Bluntz, a 600-pound rapper hailing from Iowa, has been making waves in the music industry with his meteoric rise to fame. However, while his career has been taking off at an incredible pace, fans are expressing growing concerns about his health and whether he'll be able to fulfill his true potential. From engaging in a heated feud with rap legend Snoop Dogg to performing on stage with the aid of an oxygen tank, Dave's journey is as compelling as it is alarming. In today's deep dive, we're unpacking the whirlwind story of Dave Bluntz, exploring how he went from a kid in Davenport, Iowa, dreaming of starring on the Disney Channel to becoming one of the most talked-about figures in the rap game. His story is a mix of ambition, challenges, and undeniable talent, but it's also a cautionary tale about the importance of health and self-care in the face of rising fame.
I want to be on the Disney Channel so bad. My mom would take me to auditions and shit.
Davenport, Iowa, might not be a city many are familiar with, but it's got a reputation that surprises most people. With a violent crime rate nearly twice the national average, it's a tough place to grow up, something Dave Bluntz knows all too well. Dave's early life was far from stable. His parents split up when he was very young, leaving his mom to raise him on her own with limited resources. Money was always tight, and at times, they had no choice but to live in shelters because his mom couldn't afford a home. To make matters worse, she was trapped in an abusive relationship, which added another layer of struggle to their already difficult situation. Dave had some interaction with his dad, but their relationship was strained. One painful memory stuck with him. When he was just 4 years old, he and his mom spotted his dad on the street. Excited, Dave wanted to say hi, but his dad was with another woman and acted like he didn't even know who Dave was. That moment deeply hurt him, and after that, Dave avoided his dad. Tragically, his dad passed away when Dave was just 8 years old, leaving unresolved feelings behind. Eventually, Dave's mom managed to get them into their own place, but having a roof over their heads didn't magically solve their problems. As a teenager, Dave found himself constantly in trouble. By the time he reached high school, his behavior led him to an alternative school for kids who struggled with authority or academics. This period of Dave's life marked a turning point. It's rumored that this is when he became active in street life. Allegedly, he started selling drugs, including weed and Xanax, and was often skipping class to hang out in the school bathrooms, where he conducted his business. While Dave hasn't fully opened up about how deeply he was involved in the streets, he's admitted in interviews that he did things he wasn't proud of during that time. In an interview with No Jumper, Dave shared that he eventually decided to leave the street life behind and pursue legitimate work. The things he experienced and the choices he made while in the streets left a lasting impact, pushing him to seek a different path for his future.
I'm a nice guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, doing shit to people that I didn't want to do. I was just like, one day I woke up and like, this isn't me. This isn't who I am. You know what I'm saying? I just realized that early before it got too deep, and I changed my life around at that moment. I got a job and I was working for...
On the track, Purple Stuff, Dave Bluntz lays bare the struggles of his early life with lyrics that reflect his raw experiences. Dave didn't finish high school, and it wasn't just because of poor grades. Skipping class and constantly getting into trouble made staying in school impossible. He had a friend who lived across the state line in Illinois, and this friend would invite Dave and a group of others over to his place. The catch: the friend would often leave them there, stranded with no way to get home. For days, Dave and his crew would be stuck at the house, fighting over whatever food they could find to get by. Poverty was a constant in Dave's life, and it shaped many of the choices he made. Realizing that street life wasn't sustainable, he decided to take a legitimate job. Dave landed a position at a telemarketing center, but getting there was a mission in itself. The job was so far from where he lived that he had to take 4 buses just to get to work and back every day. Even as he worked to make ends meet, Dave was grinding hard on his music. In the beginning, his setup was as basic as it gets. He recorded tracks on his phone and posted them to Facebook. Despite the humble start, his raw talent began to shine through. In an unexpected twist, Dave's music started gaining traction in Mexico before he caught any real buzz in the United States. This unexpected attention set the stage for his eventual breakthrough in the rap scene, proving that talent has no borders and that even the most unconventional paths can lead to success.
Starting to get like a little buzz like in Mexico and shit. Like people in Mexico was listening to our music. I don't know how or why, but there were people who like strictly speaking Spanish that was like listening to my music.
Dave Bluntz's journey to success is a testament to persistence, passion, and resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges. His first fans didn't even speak English, but their support motivated him to stick with music and keep grinding. Despite his early buzz in Mexico, Dave struggled to make ends meet. His telemarketing job became unbearable, not just because of the long commutes, which required 4 buses each way, but also because he spent his days breaking heartbreaking news to elderly customers who couldn't afford life-saving medications. The stress drove Dave to start smoking cigarettes, and he was already smoking tons of weed, a habit he'd picked up at just 9 years old. By the time Dave turned 20, he decided to quit smoking weed and focus on his goals. He also quit his telemarketing job and, for 6 years, relied on Social Security benefits while dedicating himself entirely to his music. Starting from humble beginnings, Dave recorded tracks on his phone and uploaded them to Facebook. His break came when he connected with a friend who had a small studio set up. With this new opportunity, Dave learned how to improve his sound, saved up money, and eventually bought his own recording equipment. Many people assume Dave's rise was overnight, but the truth is, he spent years grinding before gaining recognition outside of Mexico. At times, his frustration nearly caused him to quit music altogether. In one low moment, he threw all of his studio equipment into the trash. When he returned home, his mother had fished everything out, leaving him a heartfelt note urging him not to give up. Her encouragement reignited his determination. In November 2023, Dave faced another setback. After 5 years of putting out music with little success, he deleted all of his tracks, convinced no one would care. To his surprise, fans began reaching out, asking where his music had gone. Their response made Dave realize he couldn't abandon the audience he'd worked so hard to build. He dove back into music with renewed energy, and in 2024, things finally started to shift. Dave's health, however, began to decline. In 2023, he was hospitalized for heart failure. Even while recovering, he stayed focused on his music, recording a track called Hospital Bed. The song's outrageous lyrics, like trying to hook up with his nurse, sparked both laughter and disbelief. When skeptics